Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And this is Madden 16 Green Bay Packers Franchise Packer Talk, episode 13. And we are looking at a look back at the last 4 weeks of the season, weeks 13 through 16. And we'll check out some box scores here. And so far, the Green Bay Packers are undefeated and have not lost a game since the season before we started this series. So we're in season 2, and they have not yet lost a game. Now, came close losing games, but for right now, still undefeated, and no one has yet really found a way to shut the door on the Green Bay Packers. Now, Jordy Nelson is back from injury, so that means we have Nelson, Cobb, Adams, and Amendola there on in the receivers there. Of course, Cobb will be our slot receiver, and Morgan, or I should say Montgomery, there will be a guy that will be sitting on the bench. Now, Amendola, we're going to keep him around, and for the most part, I think we might end up having him as our fourth guy for next season. As I believe Ty Montgomery, I think his contract is up after this season, so we probably won't re-sign him. As far as I know, I think we just gave him I think was a 2-year contract, or he had 2 years remaining. So I believe he's on his last year of his contract, and I think he was one of the ones that we're not going to re-sign. There you see Hayward, Shields, and Randall there. Our corners, I think during we haven't really talked too much about, or I haven't showed too much about our draft board, but that's one of the things we are going to be working on we have been working on to draft. Is to draft another corner there for next year, so we'll have a solid 4 corners there. Now, of course, I know you guys are probably thinking, well, Madden 17 is out now, and what's the use of playing Madden 17 or 16? Well, occasionally, I'm not gonna say the series is gonna be over with per se, but you won't see this series particularly on here. So it will be on hiatus. Occasionally, I will bring it back, maybe as a filler or something. In between videos of Madden 16, because there will be a lot more Madden here. I'm pushing to have a lot more Madden videos here on the channel here in the next couple of weeks and throughout the rest of the fall and going to the winter. So we'll see a lot more Madden. I've already announced, I believe, here on the channel. I think you guys have seen it or haven't seen it, or maybe coming up here. I don't know really when this video is coming out. I know it's going to come out after week 16, but I don't know when the Nick Barber series is going to start. That series I already made an introduction video about that, telling you guys a little bit about him. That series should be out sometime later in this week, or going into next weekend, or going to that weekend or whatever. Yeah, I don't really know. A lot of these videos that you guys are seeing right now this week, I've already done, recorded, and then I've uploaded, and they're just waiting to be released here on the channel. So I'm kind of ahead of everything that's on the channel right now, certain series. Now, I will say, we will continue this series here and there occasionally, because this is a team that I've actually kind of, I kind of bonded with a lot, even though we've only played 2 seasons. And there's been players I've actually felt I have attachment to, and all that kind of stuff. And you do that, and that happens to you when you play a series like this. Even if you're not doing a YouTube series, you get attached to a team, and then when the next day comes out, you're like, oh crap, I gotta start all over again. And that's something I wish the Madden would do here for the future, is have a year-to-year saves to the games. You have your franchise or your career player. You can just kind of move them from one game to the next, just like they do in the baseball. I think that's something that a lot of fans are going to start demanding, especially if they're fans of the MLB series, and it's something I think NBA should be doing also with their great My Career. So, but yeah, take a look here. This is the game that we played against the Cowboys, and they gave us a good showing there. They gave us a good running there. But in the end, we came out and got this game and won it. So, like I said, we've had a couple close calls there from here and there. and yet no one has really put the boots to our faces and told us not to get back up. We've really, really did a great job here of coming back in a lot of these games where we were down, or we were down by a field goal, whatever. We just took our time and just found the right plays and the right situations to get the Packers back into the ball games, and really stepped up. So, like I said, I think we have a few guys that we might have to re-sign. There's a couple of them that I know I'm not going to re-sign, and we'll get to more of that here as we get to further weeks. But we did pull away there towards the end of this game. It was final score was 42-21 against the Cowboys there in Jerryland. And like I said, it was a great game there, and really tough first half, really good defensive game. And then, like I said, we just put ourselves together and got some certain plays out in there. And of course, Amendola, he was already, I believe this was his first game after we signed him to the ball club, because we didn't have Jordy Nelson there, and we needed a good, one of those great slot receivers there to help us out, because we had, we had Randall Cobb out on the outside there helping us out until at least Jordy can come back, and then we can put Cobb back in the slot position there. So now we're going to take a look at here. I believe this is the Philadelphia game. This game, this defense just came alive here. I really thought this was going to be the game that the Eagles were going to really just have our number here. I believe they have the Matt Castle as they just signed Matt Castle actually just days before this game. And they've lost the other two quarterbacks they were already out for a couple of games or out for the season. So I really thought this was going to be the game where Matt Castle was going to come out of nowhere, being re-signed to or being signed to the team, and then taking over and give us our first L. Unfortunately, not the case for the Eagles, and we pulled away and won the game. But there you see some of the numbers there. You guys can pause the video and check those out. But for the most part, it was a really good game. Aaron Rodgers, 29 of 34, 310 yards with 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. Eddie Lacy, another 100-yard game. He had 27 carries for 1 touchdown. Amendola, 7 receptions, 67 yards. Randall Cobb, 6 receptions, 81 yards. What else? Eddie Lacy had a touchdown, 3 receptions, 22 yards. And Richard Rodgers had 2 touchdowns for 5 receptions for 50 yards. And then, of course, he had Percy Gray, the rookie, who had a reception for 1 yard and a touchdown there. Defense, sacks, Mike Daniels, Clay Matthews both had sacks in that game, along with Bradford. Interceptions, you had Micah Hyde had 1 interception in that game. Clay Matthews had six tackles, so tackle for loss there in that game, and did a great job there of really the defense really kept us in that game for the most part there. You had a couple of, like I said, interceptions and sacks that just put in some really good field position. And, of course, the Eagles looking to be in first place there because they were tied with the Cowboys. And then, of course, they ended up losing that one. And it became a 3-way tie after week 15 because then I believe the Giants were up there. They won their game and ended up having a 3-way tie there in the NFC East. So, and surprisingly enough, it's competitive in that division, unlike what we had last year in real life, where no one really took it over except for, finally the Redskins were able to pull off a couple wins there and end up getting the division. So, happens. So, as for us, in this game, it was against the Saints. Really good game. Wasn't really Didn't think it was gonna be as bad as I thought it would be. Saints are actually a pretty good team, especially defensively. And then for that first quarter, going into the first half of the second quarter, there, really good defensive game. Had a couple good stops there, but it just came down to our defense just really stepping up. I mean, that's what I like to see. That's really my kind of focus on this, because I know the Green Bay Packers don't have a really good defensive team at all. You've seen here earlier in the season that we're getting blown away with by our corners, and the corners have really stepped up here in these last couple of weeks. And of course, now we only got one more game before the postseason, because we do have a first round bye, and so we'll have to see what we'll do. And hopefully, we can keep it up. It's really cool that we're able to have Sam Shields back and have him healthy again. So it's nice to have everybody healthy, because now in week 17, Nelson's coming back. We'll have him back on the field, as he was gone for, 4 or 5 weeks there with the injury. So it's good to have him back. And of course, now I'll take a look here at the listings of the games that are coming up in week 17, and got some pretty good matchups there. A lot of those are going to be coming down to the wire when it comes to divisional races. But take a look at the NFC standings right now, and take a look here for the kind of what the draft order is going to look like. If you take a look there, the Raiders right there, 3-12, and they could have the number 1 pick here at the end of the season. As for the Packers, for the NFC, they see 15-0 there. Of course, they've already clinched their division and their spot in the playoffs, and they'll have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Bears 2-13, just a rough time there. I'm sure next season they'll bounce back. And I think what hurt them the most was not having Matt Forte, because now Forte's with the Lions here on this, at least in this series. And then take a look at the Bengals there. They clinched a spot. Steelers are right behind them with a 10-5. They'll be in the playoffs. And then you got a 2-way tie there with the Colts and Jags, who we're going to be playing against here in week 17. So I'm sure the Colts will be very appreciative of us pulling off a win there and getting so they can get the division there. But of course, they have to win their game to actually clinch it. So let's see what else. You got the Chiefs 12-13. They have clinched their division. Of course, there you see Chargers and Broncos right behind them. Of course, our division there, like I've already mentioned, 9-6. Vikings 7-8, and of course the Bears 2-13. And like I said, we're pretty dominant in this division. And like I said, this is a series that I really enjoyed, because I've actually now played 2 full seasons, like my Colts series that I had on here, and the Falcon series here I had on here. That's I didn't even play a full year into. And like I said, all these series are going to still be open, because you never know, I might want to come back and play them, and just as a nostalgia type of kind of feeling, and we'll see how that will go. But I will announce here, I don't know yet, it may be announced on our Facebook page or both, Twitter page also, of the franchise that we'll have with in Madden 17. I've already decided what team it's going to be. Right now, I'm just waiting for the official rosters to be out, so we can start week 1. And again, that series there won't come out until probably another week or so here, because I want to get the actual roster, because the season doesn't start until September 11th. So I'm looking somewhere around that following weekend that we'll have the franchise there, at least the first couple of games there for you guys for that following week. So there you see the top players of the week for weeks 13, 14, 15, and 16. And of course, I think we had one. I think we had Aaron Rodgers in one of them. But yeah, just it's been a fun season, been a fun year so far. Playing this series has been a lot of fun. And like I said, I've been playing all Madden and with the sliders and stuff like that to really benefit the computer to get me, and so far, it hasn't got me yet. So, but you never know. This could be it. This could week 17 could be the game that gets us, and then or if anything, end up being like the Patriots and end up going all the way and then losing in the Super Bowl. So it happens. I'm not saying I want us to lose, but I think if we do lose, I don't, at this point right now, it'd be really bad. But in some ways, it's kind of, there's some irony to it. Ending of a series, first loss within the series and stuff. So we'll see how that goes here coming up in the next couple of episodes here. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more than just the one in the playoffs. So. But there, yeah, we're taking a look at some of the season stats there, and I'll show you guys more of those after the Week 17 matchup against the Jaguars there. Like we always do, a season wrap-up video, or release a regular season wrap-up video there of the stats and everything. Excuse me. If you guys haven't noticed too on these videos here, a lot of these videos, well, actually, majority of these videos here, I've been having a little underneath the weather, my nose is kind of stuffed up, and I don't know where I got this sickness from, but hopefully it will clear up, and I'll have somewhat of my voice back here coming up in the next couple of days. But yeah, as you see here, just kind of showing you guys some of the tackles and assisted tackles in there for a lot of the players there. And again, you guys can pause the video and check those out as we get ready for the last game of the season. So, Week 17, we'll be playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 9-6, and of course they need this victory here. They go 10-6 to be order to get the divisional title there for the AFC South. If they do not win, they'll be 9-7, and that opens up the door now for the Colts to win it, and so if the Colts can win their game, they'll be 10-6, and they can have the division. But I don't know. I think it would come down to probably divisional wins. If it gets to that point where they end up tying up at the last week, because someone has to take that spot there to represent the AFC South. So we'll have to see how that is all going to turn out here for them. And but our main goal is to beat the Jags and kind of eliminate, not necessarily eliminate them from the playoffs, but just get our victory here, and we can go undefeated 2 seasons in a row in the regular season, which has never been heard of, and that'd be something cool and something neat. And we'll see how that fares here. Especially the way I'm playing on all Madden with these Operation Sports sliders and stuff like that. So we'll see how that all pans out here coming up here in the final game of the season. But there you see again, just some more stats right there. And honestly, I think Hayward and Dixon have been kind of quiet this season. They only got 7 interceptions. I think last year they were in double digits. I think they had 10 or 11 each. So not too much issues with them from this season, but we'll have to see how it goes here. They still got plenty of time. They need 4 more just to tie up from last year. So, excuse me. But yeah, we'll see how that pairs out here as we move along here. So, honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to hope this video will hurry up and get through the last part here real quick. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to announce the franchise of Madden 17 coming up. We will have not two franchises. We'll have one franchise. We'll have 2 career modes, and this year I'm even willing to go on my way and have a Draft Champions series here on the channel. So that's, like I said, I'm really pushing to have a lot more variety of Madden here this year. I know some people have asked me to play online or online franchise like that. For right now, the way my schedule is with work, and then try to do YouTube videos, that probably won't work out. Won't benefit me at all, or you, the fans out there, because you guys want to play me and stuff. Because I really don't have the time. Because I'm usually after I work, I come back, work on some videos, get stuff ready to go, and upload afterwards. So having an online franchise there for a YouTube channel and stuff like that wouldn't really work for me. Maybe it's just to play, just to play, possibly. But for right now, no, online right now for me is not going to work out. So we'll have to see. Maybe during the, maybe around the holidays when I'm not working as much. Maybe we could do it. I could have something like that then. But for right now, it's kind of out of the question. But that is it. There you see, Week 17, we'll be taking on the 9-7 Jaguars, going against us, the 15-0 Green Bay Packers. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check us out here on ESGNet. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. The links are down below in the description. And as always, keep yourselves together healthy, and I will see you guys next time.